Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. Your girl so babes. I'm so sorry. I am about 30 minutes, a little bit more late. I had some technical issues, but again, you know how this thing works. Sometimes you have to try to fix things around. But fortunately, I had someone that could help guide me and support me as I try to fix things. So thanks again for joining me and happy weekend to you who is watching. Today on the show, we have Toridey. Toridey is another media personality that talks to amazing people. And I decided to bring him up today so we can talk to him. So I do appreciate you, Toridey. I'm going to bring Toridey up. And please, as you join, just participate. Let us know, leave us a comment, and let the conversation flow. That's what we do on here. Thank you, Toridey, for. He comes like a pro. He joins the show like the pro that he is. Thank you so much, Toridey. I appreciate you. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
I think I should thank you because, Mama, you're doing wonderful for our community. By the way, your show, is it Pidgin, English, French, country talk, or?
It's a mix. It's a mix. Again, man, we
Okay,
are Cameroonians. We can afford to talk to speak in any language that we would love to speak in. So it's a mix. Speak
okay,
you.
okay. Well, I think I should thank you for having me.
Oh, I think I should. All right, yeah. If we keep saying thank you, we said you've watched one of those shows where they go to thank you, and thank you. Nobody who knows who to thank. But again, I do appreciate you so much for coming on. This show, you can be anything podcast, is a place where I choose to come talk to people, and I bring people up so that they can share their experiences, so that they can share their journeys, they can share their thoughts about how life has been for them,
Yeah.
how they have gotten to where they are in life. And the reason I do that is because one of the goals of my podcast is to help people find their best versions.
Okay.
And watching you online, seeing the kind of people you bring onto your show and the different kinds of shows you host, I think that it is an inspiration. And that's why I say, hey, this guy that talks to everybody, it's time for us to talk to him too. Let's get to know why he does the things he does. Let's get to know the inspiration behind him. So before we even go into all the nitty gritties of that, please kindly just tell us a little bit about you. Who would you say, assume that I am hiring you right now, who would you say Toridey is?
You talk about hiring me, and I'm like, oh God, when was the last time I heard that word? Getting hired. However, technically, I get hired every now and then, but it's different from the regular hiring that people know. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not Ikundo Nasako. I am Morocco. I am Bafor. I am Southwest. I am Anglophone. I am Cameroon. I am Africa. Um, this humble, simple, friendly, struggling. I grew up like every other. No, let me not say every other. Like most kids in Africa, from a broke family. At 11, I was struggling already by myself. Man, and if you remember the places where I don't stay, Kumba, Boya, almost everywhere, Bamenda, Bati, Yaoundé, and growing up, I was a soccer player. I dropped out of school, I think, at one point in time. I decided to pursue a soccer career, chase a career, which was on level. It was not what I expected, and then I I went back to school. Went back to school, went to the university, and then university I start play ball again. However, more fast track to I'm actually in the United States right now, where I'm based. I hustle my own way, and yeah, that's me. If I answer your question correctly.
Yep, you did. And the reason I'll say that you did is because I just wanted to understand where you come from, what your inspiration is. Yes, you do say that you played soccer.
Mhm.
Was that a goal to play soccer, professional soccer? Was that
Definitely, there was a goal. Now, in as much as when I started playing soccer, I was not looking at, okay, I want to become a professional player, right? But
Mhm.
along the line, I got to realize, okay, this thing you can actually do it to this level. You have friends who have traveled out and they are playing, and then on TV you see people like Zidane, who was my idol,
Mhm.
Zidane and the likes of the Ronaldo playing, and you admire all these great guys, and then you're like, oh, maybe someday. I can be on that stage too. And then you start talking to people who give you reasons to feel like, okay, it's possible to become a professional soccer player someday. But unfortunately, things did not go as planned.
Yeah, you'll say things did not go as planned, but I'll say that there is a lesson that you picked out of there, right? There is a lesson
Mhm,
that you got out of playing soccer, and maybe your camaraderie, what you're doing today, the ability of you to come up and just talk to people. I believe that it does contribute to the person that you are, because if there is one thing that I enjoy with I love about team sports is the camaraderie
mhm,
that you people build when you
mhm,
put do things like that to get it. So I believe that it has something to do with the charisma that you bring online today,
mhm.
how you come and talk to people. Again, talking to you before this show, you gave me the impression that you're a shy person, but
It's very shy.
I don't see you as a shy person because of how you come online, right? How you present yourself online. It doesn't look like you are. It doesn't seem like a
Can I,
shy person.
can
So
I
you
say
know
something?
how to do what you do.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
I don't know if I do it correctly, but most people who I grew up with, they don't even believe I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah, they don't. Some of them would text me sometimes and say, I cannot believe you are online saying, talking to people having conversations. I'm the kind of person who I can sit with you. You are even a friend. I can sit with a girlfriend in here for the next how many days, and we're probably gonna talk like 2 or 3 times.
Why is that? Why do you think you are like that? Why
Because that,
don't you
wa-
talk?
that was how I grew up. I grew up with my mom, so kind of like single parenting, and it was between me and her. You understand? So I grew up like, if I'm not talking to my mom, I'm not talking to any other person. I can go out and play with my friends, right? But
Mhm.
then most of the times I'm home with my mom and she's doing her thing in her corner. I'm in my corner doing my own thing. So I grew up like that. And then at one point in time, it became a habit. You understand? And then I realized, you know what? That is actually my peaceful place. You understand? When you don't go out there talking to everyone, when you don't go out there doing everything, you understand? There's just that peace. You stay away from trouble. So I grew up loving that lifestyle.
Okay. So again, would you say, and how were your school days? So did you go to like boarding school, day school? Again, I know where I'm going to with that.
Boarding
How
school, they take money for us. So the thing for me was my school. It was crazy. I call myself the product of grace. I call myself a blessing. By the way, my name is Musina Ekondo Nasako. Musina means blessing or
mm-hmm.
blessed. Ekondo means the world. Nasako means leader. So to summarize the name in full, I always call my blessed world leader. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and my whole life has been a blessing. My whole life for me has been grace.
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity to even go to school. I remember when I finished primary school, my parents didn't have the money to send me to secondary school. So I stayed home for 1 year. And at the end of that 1 year, the like 10 term holidays, right? After my friends went to school already and they came back to because at that time I was in Banga Bakundu, a small village in Southwest region.
Mm-hmm.
My friends came back and they were telling me about this beautiful school experience. Oh, for school, that for village, when people don't go school for town and then they
I
come back
come
and
back.
then they were sharing these
Mm-hmm.
beautiful memories. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I went home. This is so if I cry for your show, just take an away. They no feel that
Don't do that to me.
may
Don't
not
do
may
that
not
to
affect
me.
you, may not affect you. Just continue for do what you do.
Yeah.
But these are things when I share, it makes me feel like I want to cry because I know how much my mom loved me. I know how much my mom wanted the best for me. But then
Mm-hmm.
if they only really think and if they go now by that way, we have be understanding very well. So when I go back for house, I go tell my me say, oh, my friend don't come on limbe, he talks and so they do. Do one come on good tea, he talks and so they do one come on because she felt so bad. Fortunately for her, so person come on kumba for town, come for village, he find players them. He find young people the way they fit go for a team for Kumba go play top cup. You understand? So
Of course, yeah, I remember that name.
my mom took that as an advantage to just send me to Kumba. That way I know before corner my friends then where they to tell me about their school
School.
experience. They don't get money for send me for school. You understand? And so I go Kumba, I go start playing for that team for Top Cup. mind you, we're between I think 11 and 13, I think. So Augusta played for that team for Top Cup, and then by the end of the season, the president for that team, we don't even know my mommy, no nothing, no nothing. For the beginning of the season, he actually promised that he was going to sponsor, so he was going to give scholarship to the best player of the team at the end of the season. Unfortunately, at the end of the season, I was actually not the best player. So because the best player was supposed to be selected by I think the supporters, right?
Yeah.
So the supporters actually voted their best player, which was my friend Foy Lewis, super guy, very good guy, very very talented, and he was actually voted the best player. But then this president who had said they were going to give I don't know, maybe he said that because he wanted to give scholarship to me. So at the end of the day, he was like, you know what, that is your own best player, but I have my own best player.
Best player.
I'm gonna give scholarship to that your best player and my best player, and that was how I had the opportunity to go to school. So he asked me, say, which school you want to go? I say, I don't even know me. I need a good school and this and that. So he was like, talk to your parents and let them do something. So now, so my grandma me finally take me. If I was to explain the story long, we'll not get plenty time. But then as my grandma me actually take me go for the school where I be done do interview for 1 year ago. Remember?
Yeah.
I already finished primary school. I stayed house for 1 year. But during that time, I finished primary school because I passed common entrance this year. I passed first school. I be go do interview for some school. I even passed my interview, but then I know if you go because I don't be getting any person if you pay my school fees. Imagine how much school fees was back then. I think it was like 2,500
Two
or
five to 5,000. Yeah.
between 5 and 5,000. But then my whole family, we didn't have any person who was, I don't know, ready to. It's crazy. But yeah, that was my school experience. That was how I got into secondary school. And then for me, it was a beautiful thing because met so many people, met so many friends, met so many beautiful people, and I just even talk to some of them today.
Yeah, that is a beautiful story because one of the things that I talk about when I come on this show is when we go out, we encounter people, right? We meet people. You see people who are doing stuff,
Mhm,
and there is that risk because we are in the social media space where everybody can afford data, everybody
mhm,
has a phone. People tend to say what they want to say, people tend to just say things without even trying to think of what, like, hey, who is that person? You don't even, you just look at person, somebody at the face value. You get it? And that's why to me, I look at it to be something good when we can bring people like you who are
mhm.
creating an
Are
impact.
we live on Facebook?
Yes, we are. So maybe
You
you
did not
should
even
share.
bother to share me the link. Let me just share so people
Please
can.
do. Thank you. So when we are looking at this, we are looking, you see people and you don't know their stories. Again, I've been talking to you for the past how long? I've never known your stories. I'm talking to you and the assumption that, oh, look at Toridey, look at the way he carries himself, look at the way he talks, look at his charisma on TV, on his show and all of that.
Mhm.
Maybe my pre-mindset, my preconception is like, if
Yeah,
I
right.
talk to Tori Day, he's probably going to tell me about this amazing childhood he had, how he went to this popular school, and how he is this. For real, that is the truth about it. Because as human beings, we have that we are carrying information in our mind already without verification. So that's
Mhm,
why I want to thank you for sharing your story. I want to appreciate you for bringing out your life. Not everybody feels like they can talk about themselves as you just did, to talk about their struggles growing up. And
mhm.
are you an only child?
I'm not an only child. Come from mom. My mom was a very beautiful woman, very very active woman. So she had actually 6 children. Lost my elder sister. I think about 7 years ago. One of my best friends, though. Yeah, I'm not an only child. I think the fourth of the 6 children my mom had. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's good. And again, the fact that you have family, you have
Now,
people that
this is the
you,
thing, right? You
yeah.
talked about an only child. I think I should talk about this also because the
Yeah.
fact that she had 6 kids, I was the only one staying with her. So
Oh.
to an extent, I can be considered an only child because the others were since Papa, Papa they know they
Mm,
don't really take off, they go to do their ways where they do. I was the person that was blessed to stay with my mom. So
mhm,
I can actually be considered an only child. That's the reason why I told you almost everything I learned, almost everything I do, or the way I think and whatever comes from my mom. Yeah, so Just go ahead, man. I just like to talk
No,
about
it has no, it has an impact because
Mhm,
remember this show. We are here to talk about different things in life. We're here to talk
mhm.
about different experiences, right? Our different stories, our different experiences, because the goal is to inspire people.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about that. I am a single mom, right? I have a
Mhm,
child that sometimes I feel like whatever that child grows up to become, it's probably going to be what I teach her. So if you say that you've grown up and you feel like you think like your mom, and I think that it's very natural. It's very normal, right?
mhm,
One thing that I say, and I always stand to say it, I see my girl Roy Mama is in the house, and we
mhm,
have our Sunday Fun Day show where we talk about different things like this. Thanks for
mhm,
joining, and all my dear people, I see you all. Thank you so much for joining. So when we talk about things like this, the goal is to inspire not
mhm.
only us who are adults now, but also the young people
Very true.
who might want to learn, because there is one thing to teach and there is another thing for people to actually learn. So
Mhm,
that's what we do here. So do not feel anything because you say anything. Again, I'm happy that you're even telling us, you're even giving us that information. That's
mhm,
not, we did not talk about this before the show, so I'm happy that you trust my platform enough to talk about your personal stuff like that. So um thank you again. That is Nasako. That is Toridey. We come and we see Toridey bumping people with questions online. Beautiful show, amazing guests, and all of that. We see all of those things. But one thing I want to ask you is, yes, soccer did not go well for you. That is what you wanted to do. You went
mhm,
to school and you still went back to soccer, correct?
mhm,
Even after you went through school, you went back to soccer to play
mhm.
professional soccer. If that did not go well for you, what happened? So what decision did you take when soccer? What was your next turn? Because let me tell you where I'm coming from. There is a
Mhm.
tendency that when we go through life, we succeed at some things and we fail at other
Yeah, so,
things,
yeah.
right? It is natural.
Mhm.
And when soccer did not go well for you, what was on your mind? What was your next line of thought? What did you think you wanted to do with yourself? And what did you end up doing?
Okay, so this is the thing, right? Remember, I told you my parents did not even have the money to send me to school, right? Um, my papa had already died. My mommy was a single woman who was a teacher at the time, but then she got into some trouble and even if he gets his salary from government. That one another long story. So when I had the opportunity to go to school, because someone who did not even know my family offered to send me to secondary school, I was young. I was between 11 and 13. And I was staying with this guy who came to the village to get me, right? And then, unfortunately, the guy can actually get a other work go work for Kumbo. So at 11, from one, I will stay me one
Cool.
to manage myself and everything. When I look at the kids that are 11 today, and I'm like, that's how I be there.
Wow.
So now you are living alone. You are free. You decide if you want to go to school or not. You decide if you just decide whatever you wanted to do.
Mhm.
So now, so I go school from one, from two, from three. The guy who offered to send me to school was actually taking care of me, paying my fees, buying my books, and all of that. And then, but you know how small picking they know when they give you the money to go buy the book, give you the money to go pay the fees.
You-
For that 3 years, what I did for secondary school, I be chop the money all the 3 times, them chop my school fees. And like, I bet I was very, very smart because I was the 19 average kid. 19 average, 19 average. If I overfail na 18 average, I will come like second, but I always did for first three. So for some reason, I don't know how the school I be go, they never ever figure out the picking never the pay fees. So I'll just from one, I go me from two. From two, I go me from three. Now for from three now we during the end, I think early from four, the first weeks of from four, we they actually changed principal. The new principal will come, they let go through the records and then he realized it. So it was probably like maybe the previous principal. Maybe just say they became smart. So if it might make no one pay fees, I don't get me time, I'll leave it for the
That's
but
what I suspect.
the new principal will come and look and realize, hey, they picking over the pay fees for 3 years, which did happen. He actually come for a class, come move me for school, come move me for class, tell me go for office, sit me for a chair. Ask me, say, who be you? Sam Musina Kondo Nasako. Who be your parents? He asked me question. No, like I need for know what did happen. You understand? How did you go
Mhm.
through this? That why I tell you everything. You can realize, okay, this kid is just a nobody. Now, when they tell me, so you nobody pay fees for 3 years, I will not understand how it happened. So you get to go house now until you figure out other fees and your fees for this year. And that
Oh,
was how
you
I
need for
dropped.
back data for payer.
Yes, yes. And that was how I dropped out of school because I know very well say my parents and if they afford. And how I go tell them I don't send me money, see, I don't
You
chop that
nobody
money
pay.
all the year. Them. So and then I be get opportunities. I be stay me one like I tell you, right? Like I told you.
Mhm.
So I just go me for high school, remain me now. But they were deciding now I want to be a footballer. I was probably like 15, whatever. I was making decisions for myself. I decided, you know what, I want to be a footballer because I was talented, too, super talented, and everyone was praising me, everyone was applauding me, and the clubs wanted me and everything. That was how I jumped into football. And then remember the guy who I tell you he can't take me for Banga Bakundu.
Mhm.
If you don't get some team, maybe the coach and Vokumbo in a first division team. So he can get some new team. He decided he could take me go for them. And that was it for me. So for me, for even stand here, tell you say, this was how I made the decision when I decided to not go to school. No, it was just for me. It was like, okay, what is the next possible option? Since you cannot go to school anymore, just claim so you play football now, you be footballer, and we get plenty people that vocabulary they do. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and become a soccer star or soccer player. That was how I started playing. That was how I left. I moved from football, from school to
To
football.
football.
But then I played the ball, to reach some place. I was like, I feel like I need to go back to school. I stopped football again. I go me back for school, did my O levels and my advanced level. I stopped. I tried to go back after 6 years. So I dropped out when I was in form 4.
Yeah.
I stayed and played soccer for like 5, 6 years. And then when I decided to go back to school, I said, you know what, form 5. I told my elder sister I'm going to form 5. And I just want to write my O level and the next year write my advanced level, and then at least have that level of education, and then I can go back to playing soccer.
Mhm.
So I did my O levels, passed, did my advanced levels the next year, passed, and then I went back to soccer. But then my elder sister convinced me like, hey, you see, I kept telling you you're intelligent. This is another thing I want to share with your audience, right? The importance of having people around you that understand your quality, that understand your value,
Yeah.
and they will keep reminding you of who you are.
Mhm.
One of the best things that happened to me was the fact that my elder sister will always tell me you are smart. She was actually a teacher at the time, because she went to school and then went to ENS and became a teacher. But then this person I look up to kept telling me you're smart, you're smarter than me. Remember, I used to have the 19 average, 19.5 average, and all of that stuff. I believe in you. I know if you decide to write the O levels, you will pass
Okay.
if you don't study. And all the time I had this in my mind. So when I decided to go back to school, I did not even think, I did not even blink. I just went back, did the O levels, the next year did the advanced level pass, and then she was like, you know what? I feel like you can do university and soccer. And that was how I went to UB.
Wow. So inside other stories, so you finally go UB.
Yeah, I was doing law.
Yes. That
So
is
now you
amazing.
notice how all of my questioning abilities come on, right? When I
Yes.
studied law.
See, see, you did talk and I did feel you. I did feel you because I'm thinking of someone again looking at us growing up. Forget
Mhm.
about the 11-year-old kids today that are a little bit, they can even ask questions and talk for themselves. I
Yeah,
think of the 11-year-old kid in our years, right? Born
yeah,
anyway, just think of me when I was 11. That was
yeah,
me thinking of going to Form 1. Like, I cannot even do anything for myself.
yeah.
You get it? And somebody, and you afford to live on your own. Who
Mm.
fed tissue that una kumba? But who fed tissue so that the chop school fees so that kumba can sing that? You can see.
Let's get
No
that
harm
one
to
share school fees. You know, you
no
know, tell the
disrespect
share
to
school
kumba
fees. You
people,
didn't
but
know
not
that
kumba
way.
tendency than that.
You didn't know that time you already share your school fees. Tell you one chop your school fees, you know. You did just see some bread and chocolate you buy them. You just see something.
Yeah, again, it happened like that for a reason. And I see people in the comment like, hey, the fact that your sister was able to encourage you to continuously remind you that you
Mhm,
can do this, that hey, you are good enough. Hey,
mhm,
Nasako, you are a smart boy.
mhm.
I feel guarantee say not the kind of thing in that way. Those things help to push you forward. Those
Very
things
true.
help you to say, hey, you know what? I can actually do advanced level, ordinary level,
Mhm,
and advanced level in two
mhm,
years. Not
mhm,
many people do that. Hey, this
mhm.
your girl sitting here, you're watching with, or I took advanced level twice,
Wow.
right? So the truth is, sometimes we we forget to look at the energy, right? What
Mhm.
we have in us. We
Mhm.
need those people who will constantly remind us that, hey, you are good enough.
Very true.
Hey,
Very
you are
true.
able to do this. Hey, you are
Very true.
smart enough. And I bet that that's the kudos. That is the one thing that your elder sister did for you that pushed you into what you did. So, what was life in UB? What was university life like? Playing soccer. So,
Uh,
by then, you were playing soccer, and at the
yeah,
same time, you were in UB.
yeah,
Yeah.
life for me in newbie was it was crazy because I be play soccer and I never be play soccer for any level. I be play soccer for the level where they be show me for national TV, right? So I'll do interviews, I'll score goals, and they'll talk about me and all of that stuff. So my first year for UB, I never did play for that high level though. I think I played with Victoria United and that, but by the time we want go into the second semester, I was already popular and all of that. So when you come for school a little bit like a star boy. Oh, now the guy will see for TV. So when you come for school, you get your entourage, you get your like 10 people you work out with, when I go chop, when I do this, when I do that. And I met some very beautiful people out there. So people they really begin to understand the importance of supporting a friend. You know, you be known at the regular university where
Yep.
you feel
Yep.
just stay, you need to can use school. If you stay, you need to attend classes. If you stay, you know, write CAs, I think that's what they
CA.
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just
Continuous
know.
assessment.
Yeah, you get for really attend classes and all of that. But then I had a group of people around me who made sure they covered me. It goes back to you having people around you, you having friends around you that want to see you succeed. Now, some man go look and like, oh, now because when I come, I be the dashing small money or with the go chop and all of that. But I need look at that way. I did look and like these people saw quality in me. They saw something in me and they felt like, you know what, we'll do everything, even if it means jeopardizing our own school life or whatever for CD man succeed. So do photocopy notes send am for me. Today na the man go lie say na he be Nasako for mark my name present. Another day na another man go lie say na he be Nasako for mark my name. Until at one point in time, one lecturer was like, I have a feeling this Nasako face keep changing. Today is this guy, is tomorrow is this guy, tomorrow is this guy. For una information, una tell that Nasako say if I don't see for any week, he go hear me.
But
So
look,
I
look
showed
at
up.
that.
Yeah, I showed up, and then he was like, by the way, I'd already researched, I'd already do everything about you, but I feel like you're going about it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just come up to me, tell me this is what I have on my table, this is what I'm trying to do. And my school is actually, and then so that was what happened. I talked with him, and then we figured out everything, and then I just continued playing. By the way, I be stay for Douala,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the
With the
Kansko
UB.
Boya. So twice a week, maybe on a Tuesday, I'll count down to Boya, attend classes, copy photocopy notes and all of that, and then go me back to Douala and continue my training.
See your entourage, see power where your friend and put and for guide you
Yeah.
through. And I bet you see the in connection, you see be in connection with a couple of them. That is what people do for people, right? They
Mm-hmm.
guide you through, they support you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You finally make and through, you finally graduate for UB.
I not graduate. So what happened was, I'll tell you another thing about this one will be a lesson for who you look up to, right? Before one kind UB, that was where you know Eno Young, right?
Yes, yes.
The
I know
popular
you.
Eno Young way play for national team and
Yep,
all of
yep.
that.
I know the
Now,
guy. Yep.
yeah, it's a difficult thing to manage to be a soccer player and go to school. It's very, very possible, but then you know, as young men, we know the only manager now between school and soccer. You get to other activities they want add on top. You want to go find a small team, you want to live that celebrity life and all of that. So uh after my second year, by the way, I not carry any course, nothing. It was possible I would have graduated, but I had some opportunities that I missed while I was playing soccer, right? Probably because I went down to Boya to attend classes, or I decided because the fact that I be play ball no means I didn't prioritize my school. I actually prioritized my school. So when it was for me to choose between the soccer that I was playing, which was a huge thing, which was giving me money, I would actually choose my school. So there were games I would not go and play because I needed to attend classes or go write a CA or something. And then at the end of the year, I discovered, okay, you know what, you just need to make a decision. And this soccer thing is really paying. It's
Mm-hmm.
really like that. This is your dream. This has always been your dream. So after my second year, we would go for third year. I decided to suspend my education. Say, hey, you know what? Let me see what this soccer thing can give me,
Yeah.
and then I can go back and finish my education anytime I want.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it did a man picking way define or man say who my way define better man picking.
Mm-hmm.
But you leave the ones, okay, the one delay serious, my focus on you. Now that time with that serious one, is start mess you up. So, fortunately for me, the soccer thing started stressing me, messing me, like it just, and then uh, fortunately, now that time I win lottery. So I just be like, you know what? F this thing. I'm
Good.
taking
You don't go you. See,
yeah.
you don't just make a good segue because it is so my cafe actually for inside comment section. They don't have to distract me all this while. So
Mhm.
and it's making me they've been distracting me, right? And that is because when we see a handsome, well-built,
Oh
educated,
Lord.
well-articulated young man, one of the questions that I expect me to talk to you first, it's like, hey, what's that status like? Nasako Ekondo, are you married?
I'm not married, but I consider myself married because I have someone I'm talking to. I have someone I have known for some time now. They are a blessing. They have been there. Nasako is a very, very difficult person. Nasako is a very, very difficult person. Very, very complicated. I don't know if Naso Aries and they or Naso introverts and they. But now the one person the way I don't realize he don't really try for manage me. Not about tolerating me. You understand? Yeah,
Mhm.
like really manage me, really guide me when they're supposed to shout when they're supposed to say, hey, no, put your foot on the ground, they do that and all of that. And I feel like we have a beautiful relationship. And yeah, for those who didn't know, I always talk about my show. Or hey B, hey B, hey B, hey B.
They don't comment. If I
They
not
don't
acknowledge
comment.
they no, no, they never comment today. I don't know why they not
Okay.
can show.
I don't know. I don't
I
share
don't
the video. Maybe he's busy or something. But yeah. So I think I have something beautiful going on, and for me, in our relationship, for me, we are already married.
Okay. You
Mhm.
see, so again, those who are asking in the comment section, you heard that. And for those of you who will be listening, yeah, so Nasako is not married. Toridey is not married, but he is in a beautiful relationship. Bless her heart. Right. I see her sometimes commenting. Yes, we have gotten that out of the way. It's like if I did not pop that question, this interview will not continue. So I'm happy that I finally popped the question. Now, let's transition a little bit, right? We've heard
Mhm.
again, thank you for sharing your beautiful story. Thank you for coming out here and sharing it with us, like that
Mhm.
journey. Because one thing that happens for sure is sometimes there is someone, or there could be someone listening to us today that is at that stage of life where you were in years back, right? Maybe something happened, they dropped out of school, maybe something they're just in that struggling path. And the
Mhm.
reason I love to do this is because when you share your story and we
Mhm.
see where you are today and we see where you have come,
Mhm.
I think that it inspires someone to believe that, hey, we can do this. We have the
Mhm.
potential as long as we have life,
Mhm.
right? There's a lot of things that we can still do. Now, you place you end. You told us about how you ended. You won the lottery and you relocated to the U.S. Right?
Yes.
Life in the US, then the birth of Toridey. I don't want to talk about your personal life in the US, but I want
Mhm.
us to talk about your initiative, Toridey. What
Mhm.
inspired Toridey?
So I'll take you back a little bit. Remember I told you growing up I was a soccer player. I went to school. And one thing I learned from my mom was the fact you're supposed to be very, very observant. And that is one other good thing I feel like we introverts we are very, very observant. So and also learn to accept that this person knows better than me. This person is better than me. That's the only way you get to learn or compete with them healthily. You understand?
Mhm.
So growing up, I had friends who I admired a lot. They were wonderful players. They were smarter than me. What I was school. Remember, I told you I they take first, but then sometimes the people I would take
I
second
think
or third.
second. Mhm.
Yeah. So I've always had people who were better than me, and I'll look at them in a positive way. Look at them like, oh, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What are they doing? Like, what? How can I get better? Um, when I went back to playing soccer, let me say my university days, right now,
Mhm.
this time it was bigger and better. Remember, I dropped out of school for 2 years
Yep.
to go do my O levels and my advanced level.
Mhm.
And during this time, I was not playing soccer at all. For the 2 years that I went to San Molima, I sat down for my O levels and my advanced level. I did not play soccer at all. But when I came back, I was in UB, decided to play with a local club, and then got a better club, first division, now the biggest level for Cameroon. And then one day we went to Garoua, and after the game in Garowa. By the way, for those who don't know Abubakar, Atibi actually will play against you that day. That time they play for Cotton. After the game, I was in my hotel room. Every other person went out and they were having fun. We lost though. They were having fun, and then I sat in my room and then I was looking at my life. This is me who dropped out of school for 5 years. You understand? I came back, I did my O levels and my advanced level, and now I'm in the university. We'll go play university games and all this stuff. And now I still play soccer at a far more better level. And then when I look at the way they respected me as a student, as let me not say student, as an intellectual, you understand? Like when they were supposed to make decisions for the club, you understand? They will actually want to know what I think. Now, wait, who the convince people?
See, I just my people, they're distracting me in the comment section. Like, I'm sorry about that. It's just
So,
this man does my Roy Mama Tabibi song. It's all they do. Sorry about that.
so this was what happened. I sat in my room, my hotel room that day, and I was like, I thought about all my friends, people who were super talented than me, people who were super intelligent than me, and I'm like, what did I do differently that most of these people did not do? And not be this that will be the grow and maybe the most talented. I was good. I had my remember for Top Cup, right? They be say they will sponsor the best player. I was not the best player. Wait to be prompt that man for say, even though you need to be the best player, once he sponsor you. So I sat in my room and I was like, I think the only difference between me and every other person, na information. I kid you not, this was the best. Every other plenty other thing in day where they push me towards Toridey, right? But this was the birth of Toridey. I felt like I was opportune to have certain information, the right. Because first of all, they say if you get information, you don't act on the information, you still a loser, right?
Yep.
But then you need for first of all get the information, and then I realized, see, back in the days, who saw me get information? If maybe CRTV, maybe FM, maybe. So that was how I decided. You know what? I was going to start a platform. I was going to start a platform that will bring people. I will talk to people. I will interview people to just gather their knowledge, to just gather what they think, what they know, and put it somewhere. So if some person tomorrow say one be like Toridey, he get some play if he go read about Toridey, like what we are doing right now.
Yep.
If some person say one be like my sister Solange, he get some play if he go gather other information. You understand? That was how I decided I needed to do something. Start a media platform that can put information out there. Luckily, I've been already involved for Facebook and all of that. And then I think I'll point out this also. At one point in time, I was on social media or something, and I was going through social media, and I watched a video of Next Dim, right?
Next Dim Empire.
Yeah, the girl who has Next Dim Empire. I
Oh,
watched
it's a girl?
No, guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy who has Next Dim Empire, Steve Slew. I watched a video of him interviewing Tonton Beya. I don't know if you know Tonton Beya.
Yep, I know Mr. Beya.
Yeah, and Beya actually, na grandfather grew from Makati. Grandfather, the waiter, they grew. I admired them. They were doing radio and all of that. So I really liked that interview, and I was like, yes, that's what you think of Garowa. This is what you're supposed to be doing. But guess what? I did not have the cameras. I did not have the recorders. I did not have all these things. So I decided, you know what? I don't get all the things in bed. Me, I would do now. I will go interview the people them. I hear what they talk. I write them down with pen and paper. I come for Facebook. I take picture where I don't snap with these people them. I post them, and then I kind of like transcribe the conversation under. Where two people they call and today say blogging. That was many years ago where I started doing. I did it passionately. I reached out to, fortunately, almost every person where I be sell the project to wanted to do an interview with me. Dr. Nasako Ninko them, Kanya Kwe them, when a BB producer, the Nana Mayo, and all of these guys. From that, like for that beginning stage, I saw so many people were interested in the project. Back then, I didn't call them to really do. I be call them pathfinders and founders. Pathfinders, now people they see find their way. Founders, now people they already found their way. So for me, the platform was about bringing these two group of people together with information. We'll talk to people who are still finding their way, get the knowledge from them, get their struggles and all of that, and share. And then talk to people that already found their way, get other material and share. But then when I moved to the United States, for some reason, something tell me say Pathfinder and Founders is not authentic, it's not original.
Toridey.
So I decided it should be Toridey because I wanted to identify with where I'm coming from.
I love the name. I actually really love that name. It took me a while to get to decide on the name of my podcast. When I saw your name,
Mhm,
I was like, "Oh God, I wish I thought of this because this actually it covers like the what kind of thing we're doing." So I really, it's a good name, Toridey. Oh,
mhm,
that's the birth of Toridey. Amazing. Thanks for sharing that story. So
mhm,
now Toridey is out here. We follow it. We see everything that you do on Toridey.
mhm,
Lots of people out here like they appreciate your work. I watch your shows and I see how people are like, hey, thank you, bro. You're doing amazing and all of those things. Let's talk about it's one thing to have a show, right? It's
mhm,
another thing to have a show that will make people want to join you, want to come on there, want to
mhm,
talk to you, want to grant you those interviews, right?
mhm.
Do you have a strategy in picking the people who come to talk to you on Tory Day?
This. I think this is one of the important thing. I like that question, by the way. I like that. I like that question because you actually explain how we manage to read it. You realize with to read it, we try to bring everyone on the platform. Remember when I talked about how I started? It was pathfinders and pathfounders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like we needed the story of those who are still struggling, and also we needed a story of those who are there already. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So when I decided, you know what I want, how you asked about my strategy on all my criteria on how I bring people onto really.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's any person. I feel like everyone has their story. Every story can inspire someone in some way. It just depends on how we present the story. You understand? That's the reason why, even when people feel like, oh, this figure is very controversial and blah 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 blah,
You still need to talk
they
to
are, I'll use let me put it the way people put it, right? Their IQ is low, they are argumentative, they are this and that, they are disrespectful. I still want to bring them on my platform because
everybody has a say.
yeah, I still feel like it no matter how bad the situation be, right? We can actually learn something from it. Just depend on your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is why for me to really I will talk to every person, the smaller one too, the bigger one too. Just yesterday, I had somebody was telling me, bro, you don't already big now for Wee. You get for the only do that superstar, then that's Stanley Eno, then that. I tell them it's like, I always put myself in the shoes of every other person. Like, okay, that time may have the struggle. If some person may actually didn't have a come on my platform, kind of big how I will feel. I'll give you a story, right?
Yep.
When I don't take this negatively, about 5 years ago, I actually paid my flight, went to Maryland, traveled from here to Maryland because I started up with Stanley and I wanted to have him on Toridey
Mm-hmm.
in Yama, Maryland, blah blah blah. Come on, go Maryland. For fast forward everything, I leave Maryland and don't do the interview with Stanley and no. To make things worse, EBD tell me say no get time, but actually she done with people them, two girls artists them for industry I respect them a lot. He texts and say, hey, which one are they wanna come or hang out and this and that and that. So he actually get time for hangout, but not get time with interview
I'm
to
with
really
you.
probably because we were not big. You
Mhm.
understand? I didn't say this for Bash Stanley and no.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying this to let people know I did not go like it did not go well with me. I didn't really like the feeling. You understand? So me where I did for the play what I did now, maybe people they say the platform big, the platform, blah blah blah, right? I must do my possible best for share the platform with every other person.
Yep.
That small person where they come for the platform, it will feel like, oh, a small but even man don't give me a BB platform.
Yep.
That big person if he come for the platform, you understand? It will bring with you if you bring them now. So we to the glad say BB person like Agbobala,
Mm-hmm.
Opancho, Siwa, I don't want to call Siwa his name,
Why
but
an Opancho?
Pancho, Roy Mama, and
Yep.
all these people I admire, I have so much love and respect for. They come to my platform. I want to share that very grace with the very little people. So for me, when I think about who am I supposed to bring next, the next available person, I just hold them.
Bring
Let's
them
have a
on.
conversation. And another thing, I don't care me about views. So whether not 2, 3 people to watch, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's see, wait to where you just talk. That's amazing what you just said. And considering that I joined this game way later than you, right? I started my podcast in
Mhm,
2020. That's when this is you were
mhm,
already in the game, you're already doing all of this. I only started coming live, I think sometime last. In fact, I've talked behind the cameras and stuff, but I don't do live shows because,
mhm,
again, have my own personal insecurities, just like any other human being. But I'm
mhm,
fighting them, and that's why I'm live with you today. You get it? And one thing for sure, talking about being able to find these guests, what you said, again, being someone that owns a platform as well, where I hope to talk to a lot of people, it can be challenging. We've reached out to tons of people, our own.
Yeah.
Some people ask me how many followers I have, and I tell them that I have 2,000. I think I was not even up to 2,000 then. I'll tell them, like, hey, I have about 1.7K followers. But you know what? And I still tell you, like, I might not have the following you're looking for, but I bet you that within the 1,700 people that are following me, there is somebody in there that will be inspired by your
Very
story.
true.
I'm not
Very true.
looking to satisfy 10,000 people. I'm looking for your story that it might inspire one person, just one person out of the crew. And a few people got caught up, a few people did say yes. And again, you see, I've had quite some amazing people. As you mentioned, I've had Roy Mama on my show. I've had the likes of Jeff Epule. I have the Nia Lemnes. I've had people come on my show. Asaba. Those are people that have blessed my platform, right? And I've also had other people that are not even, you not probably don't even know their names, because I'm not looking to talk to experts or stars or celebrities. I'm looking to talk to people who are
Very
willing to share their story. I
yeah.
need people. And again, so I very much identify with what you just said. And one thing I don't learn, and I say, we don't give up when those people say no to us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
keep going and do what we have to do. Someday you have a big platform. I bet somebody should be very happy they're coming to talk on your platform, because I know that you have a big platform, very good quality platform in our Cameroonian space. And it's one that if somebody is coming on your platform, that should be happy. Small time will start charge money. No man, we'll talk that one for back. But yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, running Toridey as your thing. This is your thing. I call you the CEO, the host, and you run this show. You have a couple of other shows on Toridey, right? What is it that, how, I know that you have the Toridey that you go live with other people. Can you please talk to us about the other things that happen on the Toridey page? Because it's not only you I see a couple of other people. Please, can you please just give us a little bit of insight on that?
One of the things that I don't always tell people to reading even my thing, right? To reading a community project, just like I grew up as a community child. I don't even tell you that one. From when I was 11, I tell you about how I did primary school. Not primary school, after I finished primary school, right? From that time, I lived for a house. I never ever stay for, I don't ever stay for a house again. Only time where I go do O levels and one level was still my elder sister. And right after that, I never ever stay again for a house for more than 3 weeks. And during all this time, I've the only stay now with people, then people, then people. And most of the time, people they know, even know my family. So I don't always consider myself community picking. I don't always consider myself street picking. I always consider myself. So that's the reason why you see anything to read is community. What can we do to help the community? Because when I look at me and I look at the people who help me, people where the man will be paying my fees that time, na band so man. You understand? So when I hear people they even say, oh, Northwest South, I'm like, are you guys even normal? Are you guys like, we get to erase all these lines them and just think about community.
Yeah.
Now, to your question about Toridey is more of a community project. I want to put that out there, right? And I really will try to bring every person, we try to do everything community related. Big at the end of the day, Nasako get for pay bills for America.
Of
Nasako
course.
get for support family. Nasako get for Nasako. So how can I actually juggle between these two, doing what I like to do, which is community building, and then actually, if maybe so, I will end up the press people that oh, you need for pay for can do interview, oh, you need for people that need to even come to them and say, bro, you need for start taking money for interviews. But I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. People that need to even come, they say, hey, I'll give you how much. I say, no, no bother about that. You understand? The thing is, I discovered, okay, by the way, all the two you see my dog to read, I learned it on my own.
Yeah.
I learned it on my own, but then I was watching people like Penjo Baba and all how this other guy named Ken Junken Pro and all of these guys who are photographers and videographers from far. So I mean, look at their images, look at good written the way they post them and all of that, and learn to do things like them. So besides what I do, like the interviews and all of that, because Toridey is a media platform, I actually run a photography, videography business, which is more like media also. So I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer. I can do whatever you think about photography. You know, say why man them? They just choose say, oh, I be portrait photographer, I be event photographer. No,
You do all.
we do all things. Anytime you call me, I dey ready. And then with the video works also, that is what I do. I do events, I do ads for like publicity videos,
Yep.
promotional videos for businesses and all of that. And thank God say I don't build some following way, it be respectable. You understand? So it's easy for me, say, for even get clients, they want to do their promotional videos then because they know at the end of the day, I will advertise their business for Toridey for free. So I'll do their videos, promote their business for Toridey for free. So yeah, Toridey are two persons. I feel say Nasako na that business person. We na photographer, na videographer, na media. He run a media business. No, not a media business.
A media platform, a media house, right? Yep.
I don't want to say media house, right? But then Toridey, now this other person we either want a media project for community where they help bring people together. And I think that are the two. I don't know if I answer that question fine, but then are the two places that where I stand.
Yeah.
How I make my own small money and
Yep.
how I they struggle for invest for our community.
Yep, that's good. So we've all heard Toridey is also a businessman, videography and photography, covering events and all of that. So hey, you want to get somebody that has his charisma to cover your event. So let's use him, make the money. We need the money for you to maintain this strategy, to maintain this quality that you bring to us. And
Yeah.
again, going back to acknowledge the fact that you've learned from all those names that we've heard before in Cameroon, the Pengjo Babas and stuff. And people like me, I'm learning from you, right? You've never hesitated. I'm sure you're the one who even reached out and say, hey, Solange, I can do something about your video. I can help you do this. You actually reached out to do that. And I bet you that is amazing. When we hear in our community, people talk of people supporting each other and things like that, to me, that was support. Why that is looking at someone who is an expert in what they do, something that is something you self-taught on a self-teaching skill, right? You learn on yourself and you even be willing for go out and teach other people, which is what you've done with me in the past couple of weeks. Like, hey, Solange, we can improve on your videography. You have these equipments. Let me teach you. You can learn how to use them, encouraging me on how to use my equipment better. And I do appreciate that. Yes, that has been working for you and all of this. And we are almost 50 minutes gone into this. Again, our targeted time is an hour. I want us to talk a little bit about now. You did mention that, hey, you want to be able, oh, somebody is asking a quick question. You've mentioned, you talked about your mom a lot as you begin and how her struggles. Do you still have her?
Yeah, my mom is still there.
Yeah, awesome. So to answer your question, I wanted to take that. And Toridey is located in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, and my mom is still there. Let me talk a little bit about my mom.
Yep.
My best friend, my everything. That one person we shaped my mindset. That one person never ever teach me say, your brother na pikin wa bonam or your sister na pikin wa bonam or your family na kumba people or no. And I feel like now one other thing that our women really need for not only our women, our community need to understand the things they would teach pikin them for small. Now the thing we teenagers will spit out when they don't really grow, they don't, yeah. And I just feel like now that one woman she's wonderful. She's wonderful. For any person who know me, I have a special attachment to any woman I see with a single mother and this and that and that and that. Like I have so much respect for. I'm almost like okay, how can I actually help them? You understand? Because back then I didn't even know the struggles maybe they go through. Now I don't big way at the shidon. I'm like, oh God, see to where maybe they go through. So when I meet some person we a single mom and all of that, I just see my mommy in them and I want to build a relationship with them. I want to see how I feel support them. Because at the same way, remember I tell you, mommy being a teacher, but then she got into a situation and then even his salary, monthly salary, he need to get that for more than how many years. Now the reason that way when I be finished primary school and be even go secondary school. I be growing being that kind of people every week they buy you new clothes, new drawers, new this, new that, until mommy get into that problem and then all money cease, everything. I remember there was a time we chop cassava and nkpem. Nkpem na cassava leaf, right? We chop am for more than 8 months. Every day, morning, afternoon, evening, because we'll be there for Banga Bakunui. It'll be easy for you for Jogo harvest cassava for some farm and then harvest leaves and then Joka add oil and maggi and salt and pepper. Pepper if you get them for farm. Maggie and salt, if you beg and for some person, all of that, for more than 8 months. Today, me and my mom will talk about that situation, we'll laugh. Like I tell you, I be the only pikin still we. So when some person bring up my mom, I always feel like I want to elaborate a little bit on the role of a woman in our community. You understand? The heart I have today, na my mommy. Na my mommy, like, I never ever hear my mommy talk negative about some person. I never ever hear my mommy talk. Even people the way me myself, I be feel identify, say this person don't hurt my mommy. Never hear mommy talk am. Not my papa, not my family. I had family members who were rich. I never hear mommy blame, say, oh, a wicked family member, they can't even send you for school, so they need to send you for school. No. He will only tell me, say, believe in yourself, continue to do what you do, and when you get an opportunity to help others, make sure, say, you help them. I feel like our women, our sisters, and even the men, we need to get that same mentality. Because the way trust me, the person you see on today, I don't know if you like her or not. I don't know if you admire the person or not, but just know, say, the person where you don't decide, say, for him, it's about the community. It started from the mom. Because now, so my mommy, I remember one time, I think that was America. Me and mommy tell me, say, I want to tell you something. I told say, yes. He say, nothing do I know. I really wish I know if you talk but I get for just tell you because I want to guide you. He say, if you continue with that heart where me and your papa be get them, you go die broke. Because my mommy be there and that person we will not get them for chop, but he still go take different my picking for can stay with her. Help him. My papa be there and that person we motor don't spoil we get for fix motor. He go still take the money for go pay na some person fees or whatever. You understand? Now the kind of persons in that they'll make the sacrifice, every sacrifice for the community. How mommy tell me that I look mommy, I laugh, I tell you, yeah, not true so wanna be do so, but then so certain things they wanna be ignore them. So me, I feel like I just need to correct the thing they wanna be ignore them, and I'll continue with the same thing they wanna be doing because it's just difficult. It's difficult for me to not be that person. Two people there, they get a good heart for community, they come together, they do some bad fashion, they burn me, and then they expect me I'll just come and then I don't want to do anything for community. No, it's impossible. But then me, I get to look at them, I look at their flaws, I look at the mistakes they made. You understand? I know say, okay, now my limit this, even if I want to sacrifice for community, I not get for break the bank or sacrifice my become their future because of the community. And that is what I'm doing differently. So I just thought I talk a little bit about my mom. And my papa, he died early. He didn't let me already realize, man, this thing be stressful. So, my me.
Bless his heart. May he rest in peace. Yeah. Again, I thanks you to tell you to share about your mom. That's probably why you talk so you connect with people like that. And then I see why where you the one check for see hey, so long you don't prepare for this. Hey, how do you do for things like that? And again, it just feels good to hear you share your story, to hear you to see that big Nasako way that she done for microphone, the boss. Actually share some of his vulnerabilities, some of his things that he has been through in life. I think they be just amazing. And something they were a lot for doing for sure. And also with the round up small time. And this thing is I like to give my guests right. I'm so happy. I feel so blessed that you came on the platform. But I love to give my guests the opportunity to speak to someone out there. And I always use the reference of, hey, you're talking to the world, you're standing on the world podium. And you've been chosen, like, hey, Nasako Ekondo, this is you. Speak to the world. Don't speak only to Cameroonians. Speak to anybody that cares to listen, anybody that would want to, that has a second. If you had that opportunity to talk to the world today, what would you tell whoever cares to listen to you this afternoon?
The very first thing I'll tell any person who watch right now and they listen to me right now is globalization is here and it's here to stay. Whether we like them or not, the world has become one place. Whatever you do in America affects someone in the Solans. Whatever you do in Mukundange, it affects someone in the United States. So whatever decision we are making, let's understand, let's learn for Nusi, that decision why they make them for Booyah. That decision why they make them from Kumba. That decision why they make them from Dikomeba Louis in our village. You understand? It go affect some person we did for Brazil. It will affect some person we did for Italy. It will affect some person we more think that way in any decision we are making. Now, in that light, the second part of which I want to say, community building is very, very important. The reason why community building is important is we live for some times now we over bad, right? Remember, just back just 10 years ago, you fulfill come out anytime for Yaoundé, go you Bamenda, go so Kumbo, you understand? Fear no nothing. Any kind of time for night you travel, but nowadays it's different. You know, if you travel, go for Kumbo for Monday. Even on a regular day with the someone travel, you want go you with the fear and all of that. You understand? That is to tell you whatever decisions we are making, it will affect we in very crazy way. Now, when I talk about community building, who is community? Community is you. Community is me. I want to relate my message for community building with globalization. Community is you. Community is me. Think about you, Solange, the beautiful things you are doing and how it can actually affect the world at large. You understand? If you make bad decision, no, you make bad decision for the world. If Nasako they make bad decision, no, Nasako they make bad decision for the world. They mean for Nasako alone, right? The other thing is develop yourself, build yourself, think about others. You understand? Love, support. Just continue for push an idea we like they always talk. Do people them two way if they do them for you, you know go vex.
The golden
If we start,
rule.
if we start looking life that way, we will continue for build from yourself. You build your family, you build your quartier, you build your city, you build your region, you build your country, you build Africa, and eventually you build the world. We have to do that. We have to do that. Globalization is here to stay. What are you doing now for which village, for which side to? Just know, so whatever decisions you're making, it's affecting the world. Last example, when the war between Russia and Ukraine started, right? We thought it was about Russia and Ukraine. Not get me time, anything they want to make they do. Until price for bread start rise, until bread start scarce for Cameroon, until this and this start high, until inflation, until petrol price, and then you want to ask and they tell you, sorry, that bread you don't chop and the flour be the common in Ukraine. So now we they fight, they need to actually ship that flour to Cameroon. So for now, when I go buy, then we're like, whoa, so the thing concern me. I beg, make the thing stop.
Yeah.
Just imagine say before that time we already know see this, so now so it will happen, and there will be the preventer.
Yep.
So my message now, globalization is here and it's here to stay. We will do everything, every decision we make based on the fact that whatever thing you're deciding, wherever you are, it will affect some person around the world.
Yeah.
And you know one be for some place, some person to make your own decision for side with like they decided to fight a war and then they hurt we now. Now my message that.
Thank you so much. Like, again, this is amazing. My dear people, this is beautiful, right? Really clapping yourself. Thank you, brother. No, this is great. Thanks. And yes, so Toridey, you got a few minutes if you see if guests get any question.
Yeah, more than 10 minutes. By the way, if I allow me to do, I'm going to have I'm having a show in less than 20 minutes. With some other brother I have so much respect for. I have so much respect for. He's doing wonderful in the community, Mr. Nze. If I get time, when I stop by for
Mr. Nze. Hey, our own very Mr. Nze is going to be live on Toridey in about 20 minutes. So let's be there.
Yeah, Mr. Nze. Yeah. So, man, you guys, when I can enjoy them, go ahead. So, any person get any question, anything?
Any questions, please? If you have any specific question for Toridey, let me know in the comment section. Why would you see if question they come? You make a lot of references to Kumbu. That first division team we played this have been a Kumbu Strikers, Papa.
Okay, so I make it, and trust me, that's just like that's the reason why people be very, very careful with the way you interact with people, because either you leave a positive note on them about where you're coming from, or you leave a negative note on them about where you're coming from. You remember Sabi tell you say my president was Top Cup when I was 11 years ago, right? He decide say he go sponsor the best player of a team.
So, yeah,
the best player of a team actually been on some Bamenda Pekin, where the state Kumbatu, right? But the president be then a Kumbu man. He be and so man. Guess what? If of it be contented, say, oh, after all, my Bamenda picking be best player, I will just sponsor it. But he said no. I know go sponsor only that one. I will sponsor Nasako too. Now the first impression that I get them about Kumbu. After that, I be tell you say this, so that my coach, if you go get some work for some site, where he be taking travel, if you go coach na Kumbo strikers. You understand? And then now I don't grow up for see people like Mr. Leo, Willie Minstrel, and all these beautiful Nsor picking their way. They do wonderful things and for represent our community. Yeah. So I just get some special love for Kumbo. You understand? Every time I want to talk about Northwest,
I noticed it. I think of it inside your responses.
People, my man con people are back on a pardon me, but my first reference for Northwest na ever Kumbo because that one person way if he want give me a future, Mr. Kweban Jav, may God rest his soul.
Mr. Kumbo. I grew up for Kumbo, though. Now why that one notice and say you did talk? Why are you referring to Kumbo so much?
I don't know. So? You know the days of Kumbo strikers, right?
Of course, I know the Batambos and the Luis. I know all of these people.
Now the time that sometimes you even know Coach Jomo P. He became Coach Kumbo strikers that time.
Okay.
He be the manager, the team manager after he became coach, and then I think that time the person will be the president. Tasha, some name Tasha.
Yeah, Tasha, I know that name too.
Yeah, he the president of some bank or whatever. Yep. Yeah,
I was young, but I know all those great ones.
Yeah.
So. Thank you. The other question, what I don't see, and again, yes, official, his mom is still alive. Yes.
So person say Bali Nyonga would by the way, I have an attachment to Bali also because when I decided to stop playing soccer and decided I was going to go back to school, I played for Bali United. You understand? Yeah. My sister, like when people they talk about Northwest, more talk the once more, right? When people they talk about Northwest and Southwest, I just looked at it, laugh. I just feel like, okay, you guys are ignorant. You guys have not traveled around. You guys, you not really get the knowledge about how things they work. Now the reason when I just feel like, oh, na Northwest versus Northwest, na Northwest versus Southwest, na Anglophone versus Francophone. When you be some person like Nasako, where you don't touch every other place and you were opportune to be the community kid, you were opportune to be that kid where all man don't help them. How I hate Bansum, how I hate some people.
No.
When I saw Kweban Jab, Mr. Kweban Jab, may he so rest in peace, doing everything to help me have a future. My sister didn't man to know my family. He no care for know my family. No one day no they will say, damn, I mean, can't see me, no. I only go for you say, the same I buy the book. You know how back in the days we used to go lie so we don't broke photosynthesis of school, right?
Oh God, Nasako.
I just go for you say this Naditi na he just move the money give me. I go chop my whatever, chop my tin or my
friend. And chocolate.
So globalization is here to stay. Let us think internationally. Let's think about respecting and loving the next person. Let's think about how we can build our community. Let's continue to share love. Even when somebody disrespects you, do whatever they do. Just stay positive. Just stay positive. Just treat them like now you be do some bad thing for some person and then you expect me the person forgive you. You understand? And then we will just build a better community.
Awesome. Thank you, the Roy Mama Show. Again, inspired by you. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining, my sis. Thanks again. Do we have any other questions? Thank you. Somebody says,
can I say something to Roy Mama?
Yes, go ahead. Speak to Roy Mama. That's my girl.
I want to talk now. People put me for problem, but you're wonderful. Yeah,
you're still here.
She's a wonderful woman, and continue to do what you're doing for our community. People like me don't watch you from a distance, don't admire what you do. That's the bad thing about introverts like us, right? We only just look now I learn for come up from my shell, go me to the person, say, hey, I like what you do. Can you do it like this? Can you do it like this? But Roy Mama is investing a lot in our community. She's investing a lot in our community, very, very community oriented. And I don't even know a tribe. I don't know, say, okay, they talk English, so maybe in Anglophone. But then Mama continue to do what you do. I love you so much. I have so much respect for you. No say some person like Toridey, they actually always can look to you do and be like, you know what? I need to change this thing a little bit. Look at how she's doing it. So you are a role model, ma put on that way.
Awesome. Beautiful words. Thank you so much, Roy Mama, for what you do in our community. You know where I hold you already. And to all of you who joined us, I do appreciate it so much. Like for real. For all your comments, your participation, for the shares, for the hearts. I appreciate it a lot. And Roy Mama hearts you right back. So if we don't have any other questions, as we said, Toridey will be meeting with Mr. Nze on the Toridey platform immediately after this show, saying about 12
30
to
minutes.
about
12.
13
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, so Toride, please make sure let's join him there, support Mr. Nza. Mr. Nza is also an amazing one. I love that
Wonderful.
somebody that has
Wonderful.
built his platform too. He's a great comedian. I watch his skits
Boss, can
and
I say something
support.
really fast? I
Yeah.
beg.
So go
So
ahead, Toride.
I
You be
always get
talk
some
like
people
me
talk.
now. Me and
I
you the
always get some
compete.
people talk.
Thank you, Anzin. Love you,
One other
YG.
challenge we'll get for our community now the fact say those who are bigger, right? Those who are older, they feel like they don't owe the younger people anything. I feel like we can actually change that mentality. We can change that. And the one other thing that I really respect her for Roy Mama, you
Mhm.
understand? She's a woman. She has the money. She like he get everything way for just she there for his corner he enjoy. But then he don't decide to like you also, right? But then don't decide to step down that horse and try to do things to grow our community. Mr. Nze, I pronounce it correctly.
Mr. Nza, yes.
Mr. Nze. Thank you. Mr. Nze is a younger guy. I should have passed it for I probably owe pass it for more than 10 years. You
Mhm.
understand? But then I look at him with love and respect. And I look at him like, how did pick my put on the way, but how did picking the do the thing? I wish I could do the thing like the picking.
So
Like,
much humility.
yeah, we need for if you are an older person who feels like they're supposed to be learning from a younger person, humble yourself, go learn. That is how we grow our community. If you be that older person, you feel like you need to prostrate to a younger person, do it. It will only make that younger person feel like, you know what, I want to do more. Because things that like this, they make people for our community respect me. And that is how we grow. I
Mhm.
want to throw in that I know while communities get a challenge or I'll just pick any person, right? Me and Lene Menget. Who be me for go reach out to Toridey say one can do interview for a platform. I
Mhm.
will sit down until he can call me. You understand?
Mhm.
Guess what? You need Alene Menget. If you come for me, be like, hey, young man, I like what you're doing. Can you bring me on your platform? Let me educate your people on this and that and
Yep.
that and that.
And life goes on.
Life goes on. We grow and we get better every now and then.
Mhm.
So may we as a community will remove that tags and say, oh, I owe passing man so and if he serve you, or and if he respect you, or and if he give you flowers, or and if he prostrate for you, and if he bow for you. No, for what they are doing, let us continue to respect and empower them. I
Yep.
want I want to throw that.
Amazing. I beg you shout out for Sophie Talk Show.
Sophie talk show, my sweetheart. I was on your page, by the way, I was on your page yesterday and I noticed you're not posting like regularly, you're not putting out content like
You
I
used
see
to.
one video. I see one video where you do you don't stay. You need to be consistent, my sister. We need to make this a lifestyle because our community actually rests on the shoulders of people like me and you and my sister Solange, Roy Mama, Next Dim, and all of these people, all these positive people, them with positive energy. Me and you will definitely talk. I'll reach out to you and we'll see how we'll feel ameliorate things, we'll feel move things them around for make you consistent so we'll continue to impact our community positively. But trust me, the path we don't choose are not the best. The thing we don't decide for do now one of the best. Now the reason way I realized this is I never follow you. I was so ashamed of myself. I was so like, oh Sako, like you're stuck in between. If I follow you now, it go say and say now I don't follow you.
I'm
How it
like, you
go
don't even
be?
want to go there.
You
And
understand? Like
which is
how it go
okay.
then
Which
how
is
it go
okay.
be?
We
But I
never
was
fear
like,
for
no,
follow Nasako.
the most important thing now for following now, and then I'll reach out to her later and then we talk and then see how we can make plans
Yeah.
to get her
Even
stuff going
we're
and
gonna
do
follow each other no
yeah,
matter when and how
yeah,
it's gonna happen. Sometimes it's just an oversight. So
that
whenever
is
it
it.
happens, the important thing is that we support each other as we go
Yep,
on this journey, right? Irene Mangan, thank you so much for joining. I
that's my
appreciate you for the
boss.
love.
That's my
Yes.
boss.
Awesome, awesome. I appreciate this. Toride, I need to catch my breath, go take my coffee so that I feel follow for that show where you can start. Let me give you a little bit of time to catch your breath
Mhm.
as well as you set up for your next show. Thanks again. Thanks for trusting Social Babes. In fact, you've just made me believe and realize that I can do live shows now, and it's just gonna be better. I was so scared of doing this. I told you about it, but look at it. I think this was a successful show, and I think that it was a good show. I'll probably try to do more live podcasts, shows
Better
than
go.
just recording.
Thank you very much, my sister. And
Thank
yeah, I know I
you.
love you very much.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for you also. And just continue doing what you're doing. Remember, I still get picking them, right? Whatever seeds we are planting today, now we're picking them, we inherit them, or we're picking them, picking them. So let us continue to do what we are doing.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day. I'll talk to you.
Okay, my sister.
Bye. My dear people, and here comes the end of the You Can Be Anything podcast show. Roy Mama, your girls also did it, right? I was live with a guest. I know your live show today. So again, I thank you all for joining. I appreciate you people. I thank you for the support. Please continue to follow this page. I guarantee that by the time we get to the end of this year, this page will hit that 5K, maybe even 10K. But I know that you put God my back. I know that you keep supporting me. You share my work. You advise me on what you want me to do better. You appreciate the ones that I do great. And let's just do this, okay? It's what we do. Our goal is to find our best versions. Our goal is to be able to encourage and motivate each other. Thank you again so much. Thank you, Wifey and Dean. I see you. Mary Kay, I've seen a lot of new names today. I love you all. And please follow my page so that we stay in touch. And do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have anything you want to share. If you have any ideas you want to give me, I am an open book. I learn every day and I'm willing and very open to advice. Thanks again, and I love your positive vibes. Thank you for the hearts. Let's join Toridey in the next 5 minutes on his platform and support him as he talks to one of ours, Mr. Nze. Thanks again, and have an amazing weekend, guys. Love you all. And remember, be good to each other. Your one and only Soso Babes. Bye bye.